Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the AV Experience podcast. And today, we have a caller. Caller, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey everybody, my name is Anna and I'm excited to be chatting with AV today. This is like one of my favorite cousins.
Right. And so all we're going to do today is we're going to talk about females not dating below their pay grade, I guess, below their pay grade expectations. How about that? All right, let's get into it. So what do you think about that? Females.
So my thoughts are, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Females are, coming on, they're basically saying that they want a six-figure dude, all these expectations, and, they're not dating anybody that's not willing to spend money on them. Now, from a female, what do you have to say about it?
Well, I think this is a subject that's not like cookie cutter. I think it varies based on age group, expectations, standards. So, and I'm not here to place value on one group of women over the next, meaning like, oh, if she's not a single mom, she can't want that, because you can want whatever you desire,
right,
and you may actually obtain that. Right. So I don't want to place value on women based on how they live their life, their age, their weight, and all these other things going on. But I will say that me being a woman that's in a 40 plus club, I expect by now, at this stage of life, that you have your stuff together. 40 plus, I expect you to have your own vehicle, your own place. Maybe you did have some children. I expect you to be financially stable or really, really working on that and having a plan for that. I'm not going to put, limitations on six figures, because if you're truly looking for a partnership, I could get in a relationship with a man who's extremely ambitious, has ideas, but he may have some missing pieces, and we may get together and just blow up, right?
Right.
But there are some women asking for things that they can't bring to the table. Now, I do think that a man is supposed to be a provider. Okay. I do believe that.
Okay.
But if you, as a woman, certain things about yourself, like you don't have yourself together, like maybe mentally, spiritually.
Wait, hold on. So what about the woman that's asking for all this stuff but don't have it herself?
I think that can, and again, it depends on the mindset. So let's say this.
Okay.
Some women asking for that are just being downright greedy, being a gold digger, being entitled, and exercising female privilege. Now, that is a real thing.
Female privilege.
Then on the flip side, you may have a woman who is like a really great woman who wants to be an at-home wife, and it may be a man that fits that criteria, that wants a wife that's going to stay home and rear the kids and all of that, So it really boils down to like the individual, in my opinion.
Okay. So what about the guys? What about the guys? The guys that, okay, so this is the thing. As women get older, their females kind of lose value, I guess you could say, to a man, not because of finances or anything, or material stuff. You don't lose value that way, because the system is set up to where the female is able to obtain more money than the man, and just the system is set up to assist the female more so than the male. So men are not looking for monetary stuff in a female. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the older females get, the less likely they are able to reproduce, they are more likely to have a high body count, and they are more likely to have a big ego, since they are able to obtain more materialistic stuff than the male.
Well, let me say this. What I'm observing is that the younger generations actually are living 10 and 15 years faster than what we were. So what I mean by that, when we were teenagers, our expectations and desires was like, college, maybe get a used car, and or some career or something like that after high school. But now their expectations, they have raised the bar tremendously. And why I feel like that's relevant is because a lot of the younger girls are they have some high body counts, because they have accepted pay to play more than, in my opinion, more than any generation that has been before them. Like, I'm 40-ish, so in
Okay.
my generation, right, that was prostitution, right? And it
Right.
was shameful,
Right.
and it was just something that, maybe a few of the girls dabbled in that area, but that was like really shunned against. But now they have taken stripping, prostitution, showing your body. You got OnlyFans. You got all that going. They are like hypersexual, right?
Right.
So I don't necessarily believe that the body count is probably going to be higher on older women. It is case by case, but let's just take into consideration that their generation has accepted their sexuality in their body as a way to get what you want. So they show more.
Right.
They wear what we considered as bedroom wear, lingerie. They wear that to the club now
Right.
or out to dinner.
So
And I've personally seen it at 5-star restaurants. I seen
that
it
is
at Steak
crazy.
48 and was shocked.
That's crazy.
But yeah, go ahead.
So I wasn't talking about.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm talking about as men get older, men kind of seek out younger women, right?
Right.
And now I've going through social media and looking at the news and stuff like that, news clippings or whatnot. There's like 50-year-olds, 50-plus-year-old men going after 25-year-olds, you know what I'm saying, and 21-year-olds, and 21 to 30. And these are old men going for those young females. And it's basically
It's a
on
business
the
relationship. Go ahead.
say what? What'd
I
you say?
said it's a business relationship. Those older men go into it knowing they're gonna have to break bread, and
Yeah.
maybe some of them just got that game, that talk game, that they can still get what they want without breaking bread. But they know it's a pay to play game, and I don't think it's necessarily more so about the older women more than it is about the men wanting to be able to be free. And these young girls, they want to go out and party, so you give them a little bit of cash, you can still go do what you want to do with your homeboys, and you're not tied to the home doing maybe husband duties or booed up with your wife. Like, those young girls are giving those older men a lot of freedoms because
Right.
they want their freedom as well.
And
And they're okay with being a sugar daddy, in my opinion.
and a lot of sex, because the older females get the sex drive kind of deplenished. It depletes.
It's the other way
it
around.
diminishes.
Women's sex drive go up 40s, 50s, but a lot of men that's in 40s, 50s, they are really dealing with erectile dysfunction because they're not eating properly and taking care of their health.
I don't know about that one now. That sounds that sounds like it might be statistically true, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. The reality
We'll put a man with a stomach is more likely to probably have erectile dysfunction.
So if you, yeah, okay, well, I can see that. If you're out of shape, then that might be the case. I can
Right.
see that, but
Okay.
that's not my circle. That's not my circle. I try to stay in
I
shape. So
understand. Right.
yeah, yeah. So, but I don't know. Now it's a lot of females. I know a lot of older females, and they are not talking positions and satisfaction and all of that stuff. It's like they, you know what I'm saying? They just, I ain't gonna say wore out, but they
I,
are tired.
I don't know if maybe they could be worn out. Worn out. They could have had their fun, or
Hmm.
they could be more content with other things. And when you get older, you start looking for more than sex. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, okay, I'm look. They might be looking for a relationship now. I don't know. But your original question was really you were asking me about um what was the original question, like about women kind of
Selling
wanting
themselves.
men for money
Yeah.
and saying you got to make this and you got to make that.
Right.
I think that the younger women can pull that card more than the older women,
Okay.
only because they can get maybe more out of them in terms of they're younger. Like you said, they have baby, they can still have children,
Hmm.
and they can still there is the word malleable, like can they can kind of control a little bit more. And it's a is it really a relationship, or is the relationship based on like give and take, you know what I'm saying? So the man might be okay with that, but older women, I would say we don't have to settle. Most of us, especially in the Black community,
Hmm.
a lot of us are doing very well financially,
Right.
and we're looking for more. And sometimes I think, even with the whole thing about, oh, can she's looking for six figures, this and that and the third. If a man is truly looking to like be a husband, in my opinion, I really think it go back to what a man might be looking for. Because if
Hmm.
he's really looking for, like, I want to be a husband, I want to lock in. Maybe he already had kids
Hmm.
and they're grown, and he want to do the travel thing with a
Hmm.
more mature woman. He's not really. I think that conversation is only for certain types of men. There are some men out there that's like, I'm well off, but I'm looking for a woman that complements that.
Right.
Not, and some women may not be financially well off, but mentally they're the bomb. Like they got it together mentally,
Well,
and he's willing to invest in that type of woman.
yeah, well, that's usually the case. Men don't really seek out females with money because that's just, we don't care. Deep rooted or embedded in most real men or men is the
Hmm.
concept of provide and protect. So the female's money is not really an issue or a concern or anything, because that ego, that male ego, man's ego or whatnot, really don't care. Now you have some dudes out there that I've seen the expression hobo home hobos or something like that, where dudes get
The
with
men
female.
that's like living off of women.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you got those kind of cats, but those I wouldn't consider those
Men.
real dudes. You know what I'm saying? Now
Hmm.
I understand that there's a period, that could be a period that a man goes through that he's not on point. But I'm talking about the dudes that specifically hunt females for stability.
Mm-hmm.
That those are, those are just I don't know what to say, but this thing is about
Call
real
them a
men.
hobosexual, I think is what I've heard people call it, a hobosexual.
Hobosexual, okay, get with a
I
female
think that's what
for
it is.
for stability. I couldn't remember, but yeah, the female's finances doesn't really matter to a real man, and well, I ain't gonna say a real man to a man, because only the female can define her real man or what's a real man to her. So I'm gonna just say a man, man. How about that? Is looking
Okay.
for is looking for looks, and like you said, ready to settle down. So he's not really going to fall for that. You got to make six figures, because he already knows she's about money, and it's not going to be a relationship. It's going to be
Well,
more of a business.
okay, so let me ask you this. Okay, so like I could say, okay, I'm not necessarily looking for a man that makes six figures. Preferably at least 80,
Okay.
Um, only because like I have a lot of things that I have different things I want to do. I have some things I want to invest in. So I am looking for a teammate, like as
Okay.
far as like, I want somebody I can grind with. I don't want a man that's sitting on video games and things like that. So some women are looking for the six figures so they can sit home and they want to live the soft life, right? But me, I'm thinking more generationally, like, I want to leave generational wealth, to my grandchildren, my future great grands, or whatever the case may
Right.
be. So I am not actually,
So
and again, it depends on the man and his ambition. If he is someone that's just really like comfortable and complacent and satisfied where he is at 50, 60K, that's not going to work for me personally. Um,
so
six
that
figures would be amazing. Doesn't have to be that, but let's work towards that. Like, let's work towards
so
like gaining great wealth so we can do great things.
Okay, so
So
you know what?
my
Wait a minute,
definition is different.
wait. So you talking some grown woman stuff about building and all of that stuff. That's grown woman stuff. But okay, so what's wrong? The average salary, yearly salary for a black male is what, or anybody is like $30,000, or it might even be lower than that.
So,
I just I
mm,
just looked it up the other day. But anyway, so if he's making 30,000 a year, why not? And he's a good dude, ready to settle down. He has a 1 bedroom apartment. He's on his own. He's doing his thing, and he's a solid cat. He's just not making that 80,000 or that you want. You mean to tell me you would pass him up, pass that up as far as building together with him, as opposed to
mhm.
starting easy with somebody who's already at 80. And if they already at 80, they have a certain, I ain't gonna say all of them, but some of them have a certain lifestyle expectation, a little ego. They might have a
Mhm.
big head. They are pretty much set in their ways to where they're not gonna spend as much relationship time or quality time with the woman, or they're already on the move as far as
Oh,
what you're looking for.
okay. So again, it's a case by case scenario, but I will say this. I would not want to know that information up front, right?
What? Okay.
So hold on. I probably would not want to know that he's making 30K up front. But I will say this. It depends on his maturity, his ambition level, and there ambition leaves clues. Like you can't tell me, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that, and you have nothing to show that you weren't researching, you didn't make phone calls, like you weren't aligning yourself to get into that next role. Because I
True.
mean, I get it. Some of us are late bloomers. I'm personally a late bloomer, so certain successes didn't happen for me until later in life. So I can respect that. If you are grinding like you're in your 20s, even though you're in your 40s, if you're grinding like that because you're like, okay, it didn't happen then, but you got that assurance like it's going to happen now, and
Right.
you not giving up and you're working, actively working on that.
Okay.
That I can respect. But
Okay.
making 30K, can afford your one bedroom, has a car,
Mm-hmm.
a regular, blue collar job or whatever. And if for me, a man like that, he can't own a video game because it's an instant no for me.
Okay.
If you're making 30K, 30-ish period, and you own a video game,
Mm-hmm.
there's a problem. You probably should own more books than a video game.
Okay. All right. So, all right. So, as a black female that want the let's say the 80,000. I'm gonna say six figures because if you're making 80,000, you just get a promotion and you making six. So
You're right there, yeah.
yeah, you're right there. So if you can't find a brother that's doing that, are you willing to go look elsewhere? And the reason I ask this is
So,
because there's a lot of talk about these passport brothers. There's a lot of talk, which is not financial. I don't think it's financially based. I think it's morally based, or, they want the old traditional woman as opposed to the woman with the money, or worried about the female using them for money. And you have just guys like the ball players or whatnot. Some of them, that was the thing. Ball players, the rich people kind of go outside the sisterhood and find what they're looking for. Are you a sister that would do that if you couldn't find it in the brotherhood?
okay, so let me say this. For most of my life, the answer is I need a black man. Like,
Okay.
I want a black man, still want a black man, but I can say that I find myself becoming more flexible.
And did that come with more
And
money?
go ahead.
Did that come with more money? You making more money than things are not the same for you as they were when you said you was just strictly Nubian. Now that you're moving up you're moving up the ladder, your idea, and you're flexible.
It's not because of money I am flexible.
Okay.
It's because it just seems like, and I know we could veer off into a whole nother direction. So to keep it about the money, for me, it's not about the money. Statistically, I recently saw a statistic that basically said that marriages with white men and black women are like way more successful, less likely to divorce. And some of that, I think I wondered, like, wow, is that because they know they have to work harder because there's so much differences? Now we have to like full consciously be intentional about working on this relationship because we already know we're probably destined to fail a little bit, just based on societal norms. But for me, the flexibility came in is that I'm just like, wow, like, I'm not saying that I know there's good black men out there, but sometimes maybe even I'm guilty of the poor media projection of black men. I could be maybe possibly falling into that, like not really fully knowing that that's happening, but somewhere along the line for me, the relationships with black men just weren't successful. And then sometimes it looks like black men are not pushing hard enough. I get it that they have barriers. We have barriers too.
Right.
But why are black women graduating college more than black men? You know what I'm saying?
Because
Why?
black men are being funneled to the prisons. Black women are not being funneled to the prisons. The system.
Yes, but we are. I feel what you're saying, but I'm saying for the ones that haven't even gone to prison, like I guess, like I'm just not seeing black men like really pushing. Like fighting, and maybe they don't have the support. I can't like, and I don't want to get bashed for that, but I can't say what all the factors are. But sometimes to me, they too comfortable with like the street life, or not really having any real goals and stuff like that. And it could be like, okay, I need, and I'm not around that those type of people anymore at this point in my life, but just from observation, I'm just like, wow, where's the black men that's like really on their thing, like they're pushing, you know what I'm saying? They're fighting with all their might to get out of their situation, to get out of poverty, or to do something different. They're not scared. They haven't been beaten down. They're walking in their confidence, that type of thing. Where are those black men at?
I don't know. I really don't know. They probably married up already or something. The women, probably married young and, snatched up or whatnot. I don't know. My arena is the married arena. So, I don't know about the single cats anymore for a long time.
Right.
But
So
I know they
I'm
out there.
flexible, but it's not because of money. It's just because if I wait out on a black man that is like just doing his thing and moving well, he's healthy, he's working on his self care, his mental health and stuff.
Mhm.
If I wait on that, I kind of feel like I may not ever get married. That's the way I'm kind of feeling.
Okay. So, okay, let's say you're flexible. You run across a white dude and he's everything that you're looking for, right?
Hmm.
This is this is a this is another topic that I had before and I'm going to have again. I know you. So, would that white dude have to give up his culture or are you flexible on your culture?
I'm not flexible on my culture, and I think that you have to find a way to blend the two. And culture, I think, maybe sometimes can be just a perspective of how you were raised, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we're not as different as we think we are, on a case by case scenario, not as a whole, like as a group is how we not I'm not speaking for like how we view each other as a group. Now as a group, culturally, we're like real different. But then case by case, I think that you can find that all mothers want certain things. All grandparents were, you know what I'm saying, based
I,
on how the family might have been reared. But as far as my culture, no, I'm not going to let that go. I'm not going to ever agree that, oh, black people, they have it great. They can get jobs and buy houses and cars now.
mhm.
There's no systemic racism. No, I'm never going to suppress my feelings or my beliefs about what has been done in this country towards our people. So I'm not going to suppress that. Even if it was a black guy that was not taking an interest in how can we better our community, I can't deal with him.
Okay,
I won't
okay,
deal with
good,
him.
good. I'm with that. I'm with that. So, you basically are saying because the whole system from 5 years old all the way through college is the whole system as far as law, as far as education, as far as the medical system. Every system in America was rooted in white supremacy. So
Hmm.
everybody, black and white, and everything in between, has this unconscious uh un
Bias.
yes. So if you were to your flexibility get with a white man, how is that even possible without him being what we used to call him a wigger? Yeah. So he would most definitely and being that he can't. So how's that gonna work? How would that work?
Okay, I feel like this is for me. You have to have a heart of justice and a heart that says, I stand for what's right and I stand for truth,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
And if I'm dealing with someone that's what is it, cognitive dissonance,
Yeah.
they won't see that, that is not going to work for me at all. So that would be one relationship that would be going nowhere. You know, I'm I'm not going to accept that, and I'm not here to change that. And I I will say I've had some conversations with some Caucasian people that they are very aware of what is happening in this country. We do have, white allies.
Yeah.
I don't need anybody putting on a costume and just not being themselves and
Right.
being overly invested for the sake of proving something, because it ain't, you don't need to do all of that. But truth is the truth for me. I'm not willing to compromise that and play a role and go change my appearance to fit in your world. You know what I'm saying? Or fit in some world that's more whitewashed and socially acceptable.
Okay.
I wouldn't be doing that. I don't have a costume to put on either.
Okay. So speaking of costumes and meeting a representative, I know of a couple. It was a white male and a black female. They had been married. I did their wedding. So they had been married for at least, I would say, 4 years. They had been married for 4 years, right? And so they got into an argument, and he called her aunt a black bee. So things come out. The truth is told when either a drunk is gonna tell the truth, a child is gonna tell the truth, and when you mad, the truth is gonna come out eventually, right?
Mm-hmm.
What should she have done, or what is the whole idea of that happening? Because like I said, he was white, he was cool, I met him. He was cool and upfront, but a lot of her family was like they just did not care. They did not see racism, so they wasn't really looking. All the white folk that I'm cool with and deal with, you know I'm going to say they're solid because I pay attention, and these are cats that I've known for years upon years. So, I don't know how they act when I'm not around, but when I'm around, they solid. They solid as a rock.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's say your flexibility got you into a situation like that.
There is always red flags. I don't care what the scenario is. If there's something you need to see, the red flag is there. I don't believe it's possible to pull the wool over somebody's eyes 100%. I believe that people, especially women, we can create these fairy tales in our mind. And sometimes all we're actively doing is trying to build the fairy tale, right? And we're willing to overlook so many things
The red
just
flags.
to get the desired outcome, right?
Right.
You want that outcome.
Right.
So I think there's no way, if they made it to marriage, that man never showed her anything to say it. A person can only put up a front for so long.
Right.
And I think it was maybe Steve Harvey that said this, but it was something to, or maybe it was Tyler Perry, something to the effect of, before you like marry a person, you want to see who they are when they're angry, when they're broke. Like, you want to be able to see them in so many different scenarios to kind of see how they work through those, what their attitude and behavior is like.
Right.
Like, you want to see all of that prior to like making this lifelong decision with them. And I think, like, for me, I'm going to be praying. I need my discernment on 100 when it comes to choosing somebody I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. And I'm praying constantly, like, hey, show me what I need to see, what this person is not showing me. And for me, that has never failed. it always comes out. So I think when you said costume, I think some women have tricked themselves into believing that if they get with a white man, that he's going to treat them so much better than a black man. And I don't believe that's the case.
Okay.
It depends on who he is, but a lot of us, and I've been that woman that, I've wanted to be married, so I was willing to overlook things. I was willing to put up with things that really hurt my feelings, but I didn't say anything. So I think that's how you get yourself into that situation. Women have to stop being thirsty to be married and actually sit back and analyze their situation and get out of it, get their emotions out of it to like properly see this person for who they are.
Well,
I think it's avoidable. I could be
no.
wrong.
So love for females and males too, just not as much as females, I don't think. Love plays a big part. And what you just described, as far as praying and discernment and looking for signs and all of that, red flag, recognizing the red flags and picking up on, love blinds people to the essentials of marriage. You said, folk overlook stuff, and love plays a big part in it.
Do you think you can control your level of falling in love, like being so-called head over heels?
Yep.
Do you think?
Yes.
I think you can control that. Men do it all the time.
Yes, right.
So,
Exactly. But women don't.
and they need to. But I think if you go through enough heartbreaks and trauma in these relationships, you better learn. You better figure it out.
So to answer the question of what do you think about the females selling themselves to men, basically, your answer was, in your case, you're not looking to do that. You're looking for not only the six figures, you're also looking for maturity and the man that's ready to be a husband, basically, or, be in a committed relationship, basically.
Right, not test driving.
Right, right.
Not test driving the red fast car.
Right. And willing to invest time and effort into you all's relationship. I got you.
Right.
I understand that. And we will be right back with the next topic right after this. This is the AV Experience Podcast. I am your host, AV Alvando Vincent, and we're on the line with Anna, and we'll be right back.
It's your wedding day, you're in the moment, and you're shining brighter than the sun. This is a day you should never forget. Unfortunately, memories fade over time, but I'm here to put your mind at ease with a professional video that will bring that moment back to life every time you watch it. You can even share it with family and friends so you all can smile together. Contact AV, your professional videographer, at www.avfilmsolutions.com. That's avfilmsolutions.com.
And we are back to the AV Experience Podcast. I am your host, Alvando Vincent, better known as AV. And our next topic, we're going to talk about gender roles. Should males do what females do, and should females do what males do? Yep, going both ways. On the phone, we have Anna, and let's get right into it. So, how do you feel about gender roles? How do you feel about gender roles?
I think, are we talking about pertaining to the household or just in the world in general?
We are talking about equality in the world and in the household. We can start out in the household. It don't really matter.
Okay, so let's talk about the household first.
Okay.
I think that if both people are working, then it is definitely a shared responsibility. I think that work is defined by this, like we're both out of the house, or even if you're working from home, we both have like these 8, 10, 12 hour jobs. And we need to do what we got to do to make this family work, make it easy so not one person is overloaded, and we share the load. Now, when you have some moms that are at-home moms and they've been with the kids all day and the kids are not in school, I think that even in that scenario, that even if the husband is at work all day, he should be able to still pitch in around the house, because it's not that she's not doing anything. She's actually caring for the kids. It can seem like, oh, wow, she's been here all day and nothing is done. But if she's chasing behind toddlers, she's tired. A lot of times when you have kids, you neglect your nutrition, so she might be fatigued and things like that. So definitely got to do what works for the family in the household. Like, it's nothing wrong with a man cooking, cleaning, giving the kids a bath. There's nothing wrong with those things.
Right.
Some people might say, I mean, is she going to go out there and cut the grass
Right.
or take the garbage
Right.
out? But some women are willing to do that. But, I can't compare washing dishes to cutting grass. Is that fair?
You can't. Okay, so your stance is you want equality in the house.
Yes, absolutely.
My stance is there's one head of household. There's one head of household. And even if there's no children involved, even if both are working, even if she makes more than he, I say that the man is still the head of household. So if he does not want to cook or can't cook or whatever, it's the female's responsibility to feed the man. I think, now I can clean, but better than most females. But I think that that primarily falls on the female. I don't want to say it's a feminine duty, but traditionally, the woman takes care of cooking, cleaning, the inside of the house. She makes the house the home, and the male traditionally takes care of the vehicles, the outside, the yard, the outside work, the inside work, maintenance. You know what I'm saying? Traditionally. I guess I'm somewhat of a traditional type of dude, I guess. And even provides. Now, most men don't know are not good at money management or whatnot. So, if the female is working a 9 to 5 and bringing home more money, she may know how to manage money a little better than he, but that is still not a determining factor of head of household or traditional head of household, because the government don't care. So that's my stance. I don't believe that there is equality in the household or the world. And the world is really not equal, because I believe that females have all the power. That's my thing. But,
okay, hold on. Pause right there.
Okay.
We got a few things to dissect
Okay.
on what you said. Okay, let's work in reverse. You said females have all the power, and what exactly all the power where? What are you referring to?
Females are the most powerful being on the planet. Everything comes from the female. So, so the system is kind of set up in favor of the female, even though it's a male
man's
system.
World.
It's
Brown.
the
man's world.
The man, but the second part, the man is nothing without a woman. So
yes.
So the system is basically biased to females, because it was set up by men, and men don't do anything for men. Men do stuff for women. I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, I believe when them folk came over here, the colonizers came over here, the woman said, "I want this land," and the man went out and got it. So basically, the woman ran the man. The man just
Well, we were created to really be cared for, right? To be soft and cared for. So that would be, kind of explain why there's a lot of things catered to women, even though now there's a sect of men who are tired of that, right? They want to be catered to like women. But
was that a dig at the LGBT community?
no, actually, it wasn't.
Oh, okay, all right.
That was a dig at men that want women to be 50-50 and things like this, and that's just not how our grandparents and stuff were.
Right, right. But today's
So
men are
that
not.
was a dig at that community of the men that's tired of women having a special place in this world. But that could be, it wasn't a dig at the LGBT, but they are also trying to take women's position as well. But in terms of the house, you said you're the head of the household, and I get that. I don't see anything wrong with the man being the head of the household. I traditionally believe that is the way it's supposed to be. But I think when it comes to relationship and household, the ideal thing is to do what works for our family, that balances in our family, that everybody's mental, emotional, and spiritual health is a priority. Okay, so let's look at this. Laundry needs to be done. I do laundry often, so 2 to 3 times a week, right?
Okay.
And that's just for a single person. So definitely for sure at minimum twice a week if it's a couple. But the grass is only needing to be cut every 2 weeks. The car only needs to be washed once a week. So those duties don't compare to me with duties that are daily.
Wait a minute. So your daily washing, it consists of you taking the clothes to the washroom and putting them in the washer and dryer. The washing machine and the dryer does the work. You spend 3 minutes putting the clothes in the machines to do the work. So that does not
You got to
compare.
separate them, but it happens more often. So let's look at what it takes to clean a house. There's tidying, there's cleaning, and then there's deep cleaning. And there's like routine organization, right? You're routinely straightening up. That is kind of like an everyday thing. Like you're going to get out of the bed. You're going to make the bed. You're going to pick your dirty clothes up after the bath. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like just routine maintenance that has to take place that all parties got to do. Like I'm not married at this time, but I'm not picking a grown man's clothes up off the bathroom floor.
Okay, that's that. Okay, I can
And we have a
understand that.
place for that.
We comparing, like you said, washing on a daily compares to cutting the grass every 2 weeks.
I'm just talking about the frequency of
Yeah.
it.
Okay. So let's talk about that. So
So
if you wash
daily
clothes,
chores.
you spend, I'm gonna say, 10 minutes, and that's being very generous because you're gonna fold the clothes, separate the clothes, like you said, and it take 3 minutes to put them in the machines to let them do the job. But cutting the grass takes hours, or doing the yard work takes hours, and it's more taxing on the body, and you're out in the elements. Usually it's going to be hot, so you're going to be sweating, losing nutrition, losing all these minerals and stuff through the sweat, and dealing with the elements, the bugs and stuff. So you're going through an uncomfortable moment in comparison to you in a comfortable, air-conditioned home, spending 10 minutes folding clothes, washing clothes, separating clothes.
And I'm going to make sure you're good when you get in the house. I'm going to make sure you got food, water, whatever you need when you get in the house.
And so the man is making sure that that equipment is functioning properly so you can take care of him when he come in the house. Paying the bills so you're comfortable doing the stuff in the house.
If this is a relationship we're talking about where the man
Yeah,
pays all the bills,
yeah.
now I mean that's a,
Well, even
I
if
don't
he
want to
don't
say
pay the
that's a
bills,
little different. I'm just saying taking care of a house isn't as simple as some people think it is. Like you're not a maid, right?
and
So
yeah,
I
no.
think I see nothing wrong with outsourcing some of your chores in the house if you can afford to do that. But
Okay, so then,
back to
so wait a
what we're
minute.
saying,
Okay, so well, yeah, well,
equality. Mhm.
yeah, we talking about equality. We talking about the man doing his
I think a man
husband
should
duties.
cook sometimes. He should, if you're not going to cook,
Yeah,
you should take care of dinner, whether it's
what's
buying it out or cooking it. But I personally, I'm not going to cook 7 days a week.
okay? 6 days work. Uh,
6 days, that's a lot too.
so I'm saying the overall, the big picture, the big picture. I mean, I can
Hmm.
understand y'all going out on a date, and so you don't have to cook, and go to a dinner and a movie or whatever. I can understand that, but I'm talking about the big picture, the overall. At the end of the day, when from sun up to sun, when it's time to retire, the man is the man. The queen, the woman is the woman, and we both have our duties to do. I believe. I believe that we both have our duties to do. And like I said before, that's traditional thinking. I'm a traditional dude, I guess. And
Do you cook?
do I cook? No,
Is that because
I can't.
you
I
you can't?
I can cook to survive, but I'm pretty sure my wife don't want to eat like that. So no, I
Yeah.
don't. I don't cook.
Okay.
The same. I used to work on cars. My wife ain't never turned a wrench on a car. I fix stuff around the house. My wife don't do that.
So you feel like you're so traditional that you feel like there's actually duties that are a man's job and that are a woman's job.
Yes, and I guess I get that from my grandparents. I watched both sets of my grandparents go through that, do that.
Okay.
They both worked. All four of them worked. But at the end of the day, my grandfathers were the head of household. My grandmothers made sure the house was taken care of.
I don't see anything wrong with that. I just think sometimes, women do need more help in the house sometimes. But I'll tell you this, I'd rather go get in the kitchen and cook than cut grass and work on cars.
Okay, okay. So there
That
you
I
go.
wouldn't trade that activity. And don't get me wrong, I can do a little something on the car. I can change a tire. I can refill my Freon for my AC. I can change some bulbs and fuses. I got a little things I can do on the car, but I'd rather not.
Okay, okay. I can understand that. I can wash clothes and wash dishes and clean the house, but I would rather not. I would rather go outside and work in the yard.
Well, if I'm tired, I just want my husband to pitch in and help with certain things. If I'm like, listen, right now I'm tired, do you mind helping?
So
But
I
if
understand that. But what if he's tired? Are you gonna go outside and excuse me? Are you gonna go outside, cut the grass, and turn a wrench, or fix
I
something that's
have cut
broke?
grass quite a few times, I definitely can be an assistant.
Okay.
I can block the shade. I can hand you tools.
But he's
I can
tired.
get you water.
He's tired, like you tired. If you're tired, you don't want to cook. You want to,
Yeah, but men are meant to endure more physically. So
false,
yeah.
false, false. That's false. That's false. Right there. Stop
It's
the
true though,
nonsense.
right?
No, 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 no. Women are
No.
the strongest. Women endure. Come on now. You've had children, so you know you're stronger than
Physically,
men.
that's a one-time event.
That's that. I don't know. Let y'all tell it. That's a pain that's unmatched. The men can't experience that kind of pain.
I agree, but you still can endure more physically when it comes to like, working outside and
I
in
know.
the heat and things like that.
Yeah, I know. I'm being devil's advocate.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, hey. So there we have it. We have, as far as gender roles, we have a traditional frame of mind, or a traditional perspective, and then we have a non-traditional perspective from Anna.
I'm hybrid.
Hybrid. Okay. See,
I'm hybrid. Yeah.
here we go. See, you hybrid, you flexible on relationships. What's really going on? Good gracious.
Because listen, the older I get, the more I observe. You have got to be. You have to always be prepared to make a change
Okay.
to get the outcome you're looking for. That's
Okay.
all I. That's what I'm learning.
Okay. All right. I can dig that. So we're going to end it up with that right there. This was just a small talk with my cousin Anna. And I want to thank you all for tuning in to the AV Experience podcast. I am your host, Alvando Benson, a.k.a. AV. Y'all know me. And we're out.